We're leaving a bar up by Leah's place again. It rained while we were drinking, and the city looks delicate, refreshed. All the street lamps have birthday candle halos. Leah's hanging on my arm. It's no big thing, she's not stumbling, just making sure I feel her presence, her there-ness. We reach her building. "Gentleman, you are," she says, walking me home. I smile. "So you want to come upstairs?" She slips a hand into my pocket, squeezes. "Well," she says, "what's it gonna be?" "If you really need me to say it," I say, "I mean, of course." "Awesome," she says, and pecks me on the cheek, hand still in my pocket. "But you're not staying over." But then she lets me. I live in Murray Hill. Leah lives up by her school. This means that in order to see her, I need to take the 6 to Grand Central, ride the shuttle to Times Square, then finish my trip on the 1, or spring for a cab. Not that I'm so broke, but... Richard has a rent-controlled place in Alphabet City. The neighborhood, seedy when he moved in, has gentrified smartly over the decades. Richard has stories about the prostitutes who use the corner laundromat, since become a coffee shop, as their home base, about the bums who'd sleep in his building's stairwell, ready to fight you if you roused them. He says all the real character has been driven from the city, though it is nice to be able to walk around at night. A cab home from Richard's place is $8, tops, and often Richard insists that I take some money to pay for it. "Refuse me twice and you'll make me cry," he'll say, half serious. It's sometimes hard to tell with Richard what is genuine and what is theater. I act exasperated. "You're making me feel like a kid," I say, but accept the cash, grinning, and only then can we complete our goodnight ritual. A hearty, protracted embrace during which he pecks me on the cheek, or, maybe, tries to plant one right on the mouth. I've begun to crave the undivided affection Richard gives me on our nights together. Sometimes when I'm at work, I find myself drifting off, thinking of the low light by which we dine, how he's taken to keeping a bottle of my preferred bourbon in the house. "I don't know about another round before dinner, Richard," I might say, and he might say, "Oh, come on, you young people are supposed to be able to take it." It's hard to say who's more surprised the night I respond to Richard's latest hysterical "come on" by stretching myself out on his couch and then laconically unzipping my fly. I no longer think of Leah as the love of my life, but I do still sometimes think we might make each other the happiest. It would be more like teaming up than being married. We could do all kinds of things together, whatever she wanted to. I could work, she could sculpt, she could have girls too if she wanted. She could bring them home to us sometimes. I know it's silly, but I think about it. Also, I think maybe it isn't so silly. I'm imagining the two of us at a party together, her wearing a black dress with a plunging V-neck, me not in anything particular, and she's talking to some old friend of ours. She's telling a funny story about something I said, on account of having misunderstood something she said, and how we argued and argued until we realized what the original miscommunication had been, and how afterward everything was okay. Richard fucks me with a ruthlessness, utterly disconnected from his demeanor, that carefully crafted melange of snark and fey. He tops, for one thing, and sometimes when he gets frisky, he gets rough. The situation ought to allow for nothing in either partner but animal instinct. Instead, however, I'm feeling oddly trapped inside what's shaping up to be a muddled, but basically analytical drunk. How have I wound up in this apartment, on my belly, on this bed, greased? Obviously, I don't mean this literally, but in the grander sense. Richard's trying to get me into position for a reach around, but I'm not helping because at this particular moment, my being fucked feels like it's happening in an adjoining room. In that room, I think, Richard has given up on parody and is now calling me filthy things. The smoke alarm goes off. The salmon. Richard pulls out. It's a rushed, painful exit that makes me gasp. Richard runs to the beige disc and snatches it off the wall, disabling it. He opens the oven and surveys the ruined food. The salmon is blackened and hard. It looks like scorched, warped bricks. Goddamn, Richard says. I hear the quaver in his voice. We stand at opposite ends of the kitchen, two naked men, first not looking at each other, then looking. I am eating fried pork dumplings out of a white box balanced on my lap, a lot less drunk than I was before, which I think is good. Richard has spare ribs and makes a show of sucking the meat off each bone. I start to tell him all about Leah, figuring there's an obvious segue from that into breaking up with him, but I can't find it, so I'm just telling old sex stories. Richard says finally. I ate a pussy once in college. That was plenty. I think we should just be friends, I say. Richard stares at me, gnawing on his last rib. Okay, I know it sounds stupid. I mean, we're sitting here and I make a sort of encompassing gesture with my chopsticks. Still, Richard says nothing. I don't want to hurt you, really, but this is a mistake for me. I thought maybe it wasn't, but it is. I hope you can understand. We can still see each other. I love it when you make dinner. Richard clears his throat, starts to talk, stops, then says, "You know, I try and remind myself that you're all the same, but apparently there are some things in life a person never gets used to." I don't understand. Of course you don't. You're trying so hard to be understanding, but the fact is, you couldn't possibly understand. You apparently think that you're my boyfriend. You think this, he mimics my gesture, is my whole life. Thank you.